This presentation is titled Rebuilding the Model, Creating, Teaching, and Assessing Information and Data Literacy Online. Before we begin, let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Maryellen Nash, Interim Director for Research and Instruction for the Tampa Campus Library.
Hi, I'm Barbara Lewis, Digital Learning Librarian at the USF Tampa Campus Library.
And I'm Stephanie Jacobs, Blended Instructional Design Librarian and English Literature Liaison for the Tampa Campus Library.
This project had its origins in several factors that were culminating to compel the library instruction team to reevaluate our instructional model. First, we recognized that the downward trend in the number of library faculty was likely to continue for the foreseeable future. On the other hand, the university was expanding, meaning that our model of on-demand face-to-face library instruction would not be sustainable. By this time, we had already transitioned to online library instruction for our large undergraduate populations like first-year composition and academic foundations because we lacked the staff to meet the demand for course-based, face-to-face sessions. In addition, years' worth of library instruction data showed that a great deal of repeat content across instructional sessions was occurring, largely at the lower level skills threshold where online synchronous tutorials could meet the instructional needs of most first and second year undergraduate students. However, we librarians knew that we still had a lot to contribute and we wanted to clearly demonstrate our value and relevance to the university and its goals for student success. So, as a result of all these confluent drivers, we conceived of a new instructional model that would complement and add value to the curriculum, student learning outcomes, and teaching faculty efforts. Our first step was to target the enhanced general education curriculum. We felt the best and most valuable approach would be to target the enhanced general education curriculum by providing an assortment of workshops that complemented the information and data literacy learning outcomes. So, we set about planning, designing, and developing a series of self-contained instructional modules that address the specific knowledge and skills a student would need to complete a research assignment for each indicator of the achievement that is part of the learning outcome. We came up with a procedure to guide our efforts by first using the USF course inventory to identify general education courses certified for information and data literacy, and there were 31 of those. We then obtained the syllabi for these courses and recorded the specific indicators of achievement for each course selected two. Next, we ranked the indicators in the courses by frequency to determine which had priority for development and implementation, and then we developed a lesson plan template to ensure uniformity of workshop format and instructional alignment. We then divided the indicators among each of the team members who constructed the workshop, learning objectives, learning activities, and assessments. We then reconvened to share and discuss each other's lessons.
Now we'd like to walk you through one of our finished products, the workshop created by myself titled It's a Trap, Evaluating Information Sources. The USF Tampa Library's workshops can be accessed from their main library page, lib.usf.edu. Simply click on the library instruction icon, choose Workshops and Tutorials, and select Workshops to read the descriptions. From this page, anyone can access and enroll themselves in these workshops. All of our workshops begin with a welcome page. The learning objectives are stated here. The welcome page will also have a list of the items that the student will have to view or complete in order to successfully finish the workshop and earn the badge. Barbara Lewis will go over the badging process a bit more in the following section. Here on the welcome page, we also give the student an idea of how long the workshop will take to complete. The workshops are self-paced. Students start the workshop right from the welcome page, like this. All of the learning modules in this series have a survey/quiz at the beginning. The content varies, although all of them include the two standard questions: are you required to take this module for a course? And if you are completing this as part of a course, what are the course and instructor names? It's up to our discretion whether we also include questions about what the student knows, so that we can compare their knowledge to before and after they've completed the content in the workshop. Once they've started the workshop, students can navigate through the module using the Next button, or they can choose to access different elements of the workshop from the list on the welcome page. Students can watch the videos more than once, and in most cases, students can try the quizzes more than once. Videos vary in runtime. As a best practice, we try to keep them under 4 minutes. However, some of our video lectures exceed that 4-minute limit. The videos all have provided transcripts or closed captioning that can be turned on, and as a general rule, we try to embed the videos rather than have them link out to a new page. All the quizzes included in our modules are self-marking and have between 6 and 12 quiz questions. To earn a badge for a workshop, the students must score at least 60% on the final quiz. Once they've met this requirement, the student will gain access to the badge, as mentioned before, that they can download and present to their instructor as proof of completion. Our library skills badging program has been very well received, as digital learning librarian Barbara Lewis will now discuss.
We decided to award digital badges for completion of the modules to provide an incentive for the students. In addition, when a professor assigns one or more modules for their class, badging provides a mechanism that enables the professor to validate that the student has successfully completed the module. We use Badger.com for several reasons. First, it's free. There's also a paid version that provides some additional features. Second, it already has an API that integrates with Canvas as well as other learning management systems. It also integrates with professional networking and e-portfolio systems like LinkedIn and Handshake. Finally, USF already uses Badger for several programs, including the Career Readiness Program through Career Services and our very successful program through the library's Digital Media Commons. The process to set up badging is relatively simple. There are a few steps when the librarian creates the module, and these are documented for Canvas at the instruction links shown on the slide. Once that is complete, a professor creates an assignment for which a student must submit a URL. When students successfully complete the module, the system sends them a link to their badge, which they can then submit for the assignment. Canvas then credits the student with completion of the assignment. The students may also submit the URL to their LinkedIn and Handshake accounts so that prospective employers can see their accomplishment. For marketing, we were fortunate. We had already done a survey of the Gen Ed courses that identified those that included information and data literacy as an indicator of achievement. We contacted the coordinators for the courses that had the largest average enrollment per semester, and 2 agreed to participate in our pilot. In addition, our education librarian is typically embedded in several courses each semester and teaches many face-to-face courses. She contacted several College of Education professors who agreed to have their students participate. After the success of our summer pilot, several liaison librarians also contacted the faculty in their departments to make them aware of the new program, which they could check out at our new website. Because of the pivot to remote learning, many professors found the new modules an attractive alternative to having a virtual library session. We've already developed several additional modules, and we're working on more. The pivot to remote learning provided a challenge and an opportunity for library instruction. Our original 7 modules were geared to undergraduates. One area we needed to address was instruction for conducting a literature review, especially for graduate students. 5 librarians teamed up to create a course with 4 modules covering the phases of the literature review. This was completed early in the fall semester and has been assigned by several professors. In addition, modules on avoiding plagiarism, finding articles, and finding history resources are now available. We also plan to create modules on genealogy and citation tools like EndNote and Zotero. Finally, librarians at the other USF campuses are working on converting their tutorials to the Canvas format.
Right now, our team is engaged in a peer review process to assess our modules having undergone a pilot period over the fall semester. This peer review uses a rubric that we developed, loosely based on the Quality Matters rubric. But since these modules are not full courses, we have selected criteria that is relevant for our project. Criteria include things such as properly constructed learning objectives, standard front page welcome information, instructional alignment with activities and assessments, and accessibility factors, along with other features. To the extent possible, this process was a blind peer review, where the module creators did not know who was reviewing their modules. The reviews were then submitted to the department director and compiled.
The newly consolidated Library Student Success Department is now working together on this project. which was begun just prior to USF's consolidation this summer. In addition to working with the librarians from St. Pete and Sarasota Manatee to migrate their instructional materials to the LMS environment, we also launched the Consolidated Library Peer Review Project with a rubric that was developed cooperatively by a committee of librarians from the St. Petersburg and Tampa campuses. While we all share common goals as librarians teaching research, different campuses had different methods and traditions when it came to creating online learning material, and so we are working as a group to standardize our creative output and establish best practices across the board. These collaborative challenges transfer across departments and areas of specialty, and we hope that sharing our experiences will help us grow together in the future.
We plan to continue our assessment cycle as we refine and add content to our inventory. In the future, we hope to conduct formative assessments using student and faculty focus groups. In addition, we will use survey data from students who have completed one or more of the modules for one of their courses to determine if the module content is meeting the needs of the students taking part in the enhanced general education curriculum. Finally, enrollment data from the students who are taking part in these programs will be anonymized and aggregated to determine if there's any correlation between student involvement with the program and positive indicators of student success using performance-based metrics as our guide.
This brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to contact us with any questions, comments, or ideas for collaboration.